Okay, right. So the first problem for today's section is the standard deviation of a population is given to be 2.65 centimeters. Find the probability that in a random sample of size 65, the sample mean will differ from the population mean by 0.70 centimeters, and the other one, the sample mean exceed the population mean by 0.70 centimeters. Seems to be this is not the problem that what we have been discussing from the last 3 to 4 sections. But however, what is hypothesis given to us and what it is asked. Okay. So, and the very first thing, standard deviation of the population is given. So let me write one by one what it is given. Standard deviation of the population means sigma is given to be 2.65 centimeters. Okay, right. Find the probability that in a random sample of size. So the random sample size is also given. Size of the sample is 65. Okay. Now, what we need to ask, we need to find out, we need to find the probability. Probability of what? The sample mean will differ from the population mean by 0.70. Suppose assume that let x bar and mu be the sample mean and population mean. Okay, now what we need to find out? The sample mean will differ from the population mean by 0.70. 0.70 or more. Let me completely read the sentence here. Or more. So that is to say that is the difference between the sample mean and the population mean, that is x bar minus mu, the difference. Either it had to 0.70 or more. So the difference between the sample mean and the population mean is greater than or equal to 0.70. What we need to find out? We need to find out the probability of this one. Probability of this set. Okay. So now on the other case, on the other side, on the second question, the sample mean exceed the population mean by 0.70 or more. That is, so the second thing what we need to find out, the sample mean exceed the population mean. So which one is bigger? The sample mean is the bigger. So sample mean exceed the population mean by 0.70 or more. If it is asked for 0.7, we need to find out is equal, but it is said 0.70 or more. So this is what the difference between here and here is, you understood here. Yet the difference here, the sample mean may exceed, may maybe less than the population mean, but the difference between them should be more than 0.70. Okay, but in the second problem, the sample mean should exceed the population mean. Okay, so these two things we need to evaluate according with the given data. Okay, so what we know, basically we know that by the central limit theorem for large samples, we know that the z, that is equal to x bar minus mu upon the sigma upon square root of n. Sigma upon square root of n. By the way, you remember, you see here we do not know what is the sample mean and what is the population mean exactly. What we are interested in, their difference. Okay. So this is, as we know, by central limit theorem, this follows the standard normal distribution. Okay. Now we need to evaluate these things. Okay. So that is we need to evaluate, the first one is the probability of x bar minus mu mod z is less than the probability of So sigma upon root n is bigger than or equal to the probability of modulus of x bar minus mu is bigger than or equal to 0.7. Okay, this is what we need to evaluate. So, but that is equal to 1 minus probability of modulus of x bar minus mu less than or equal to 0.7. Same thing, right? Okay. So now that is equal to 1 minus, but what is this one? The probability of mod z times sigma upon root n is less than or equal to 0.7, right? That is equal to 1 minus probability of this is about what? Mod z is less than or equal to 0.7 times square root of 65 upon what is the standard deviation given to us? Standard deviation given to us 2.65. That is 2.65. 2.65. So that is equal to 1 minus probability of mod z is less than or equal to. Now, please evaluate this value and give me the value. The value is 0.7 times the square root of 65 divided by 2.65. So that is 17.16. $2.1296. $0.7 times. Okay. So it is times 0.7 is equal to divided by 2.65. So 2.1296. Yeah. So that is 2.1296. Okay. So that is equal to, but for a statistical table value, does not give this value. What it gives, it is nothing but the 2 times probability of 0 is less than, z is less than or equal to 2.1296. 1296 can be approximated with 13. All right. Why? Because the statistical table will give up to only 2 decimals. So let us approximate this one. So we will get 2.13. Okay. Now get that value from this value from the table. Substitute here. Simplify it here. So you will get the probability that the difference between the sample mean and the population mean exceeds or is more than the 0.7. Okay, that's all. Now I am not going to do the second problem. By the second problem is also it is also exactly the similar way. The only difference is here because of the modulus we have something called 2 times we have to do here, but here 2 times is not there, so it can be easily done. In fact, since because the standard normal function is an even function, okay. With the mean at 0, what actually this value will be exactly half of this value. Okay, you can argue, you can directly say using that one also. Okay, right. So I'm not finishing this problem. You do the remaining statistics. Okay. Now let us go to the another example. So the mean sample of two large samples of the mean of two large samples of 1,000 and 2,000 members are 67.5 inches and 68 inches. Okay, right? Can the samples be regarded as drawn from the same population of standard deviation 2.5 inches? Okay. So what actually we need to check here. So initially we have one sample of, this is sample one, sample one, and there is another sample. This is sample two. It is the sample one size is 1000 and sample two size is 2000, right? And then what it is given? The mean is given. So x1 bar is given to be 67.5 and x2 bar is given to be 68. Okay, fine. Now, can the samples be regarded as drawn from the same population of with the standard deviation 2.5 inches or not? That is, we need to test at the 5% level of significance. So what actually we need to check here? What is the question? The question is asking for whether both the samples are drawn from the same population or not. That is the question. Both the samples are drawn from the same population or not. That is the question. Okay. Now, when we will say both the samples are drawn from the same population, there should be two conditions should be satisfied. One is the difference between the sample means should not be significant. There should not be any significant difference. Okay. And in the means, and at the same time, there should not be any significant difference in the standard deviation or variances also. Okay. So that is what we need to check here. But here you see it here. The population standard deviation is already given 2.5 inches, 2.5. Okay. So the only thing is we need to check to answer this question. We need to check the difference between the sample means is whether it is significant or not. If it is significant, we will say that these two samples are not drawn from the same population. If there is no significant difference, we can say that both the samples are drawn from the same population with the standard deviation 2.5, with the standard deviation 2.5 with the 95% confidence. Remember that with the 95% confidence only we can say that. Okay. Now, right. So proceed. So there is a hypothesis we need to check here. We need to test the hypothesis. What is the hypothesis it is given to us? Can the samples be recorded drawn from the same population or not? So we need to decide what is H naught, the null hypothesis. What it is H naught? That x1 bar is equal to x2 bar, which means here it is not the mathematical equality. Okay, it is not the mathematical equality, which means that there is no significant difference. No significant difference between sample means. Okay. And H1, the alternate hypothesis assumes that yes, there is a significant difference between the sample means. Right. Okay. Now, yeah, now the test statistic we need to reiterate. What is the test statistic? The difference between the sample means x1 bar minus x2 bar upon the standard error of the difference between the sample means. What it is given? It is given summation square root of sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2. N1 is equal to 1000, N2 is equal to 2000, that is also given. Now here in this problem, you observe that here sigma 1 square is equal to, sorry, sigma 1 is equal to sigma 2 is equal to sigma is equal to 2 point, how much it is given? 2.5. It is already given to us. 2.5, it is already given to us. And what the central limit theorem says, for large samples, it follows the standard normal distribution. Okay. So that's all. Now, we at what level of confidence significance we need to check? 5% level of significance. 5% level of significance means it is, of course, it is a two-tailed test. Two-tailed test. Now, what is Z alpha? Z alpha is 0.05. What is Z alpha at 5% level of significance? 1.96, right? We are doing it from last 2-3 sections. So 1.96. Okay, Z alpha is there 1.96. Okay, and then yeah, Z alpha is this is this one you can get it from the table. That is fine. Now let us evaluate this. So the tested statistic z is equal to the difference between the sample means x1 bar, x2 bar, that is 67.5 and 68. 67.5 minus 68 upon square root of. Here basically sigma 1 square and sigma 2 square both are same. You can take it out of the root, so you will get our sigma only. So that is 2.5 times 1 upon 1000 plus 1 upon 2000. Now please evaluate this value and give me that. What is the value? 5.1639. Okay. So the value is here 5.1639. I think it should be minus by because it is less enough. So it is minus. It is minus. Yeah. Right. So now you look at the calculated value. Since the mod z value that is equal to 5.1639 is strictly bigger than 3. So straight away we can decide that that is strictly bigger than. In fact, since it is asked, it is first thing, it is strictly bigger than 3. We can straight away reject it. Okay. Or else, since the statistical value is also there, right? So that is 1.96 bigger than the statistical critical value. Thus, reject H naught. Reject H naught means accepting H1, accepting H1. That is to say, there is a significant difference between the sample means. Since there is a significant difference between the sample means, the conclusion is, for every problem, we should write the conclusion also. The conclusion is, we cannot say that the samples are drawn from the same population with the standard deviation 2 point. We cannot say. Okay. So reject H naught, that is, we cannot say the samples are drawn from same population with standard deviation 2.5. With the standard deviation 2.5. Okay. So I hope everyone understood. If you have any problem, you can stop me in between also. Okay. Now, I think this problem will take a little time. The length. Okay. Okay. Right. So you see this one. So please read the question. Take 1 or 2 minutes. Please read the question carefully and what it is given and what we have to evaluate. Please understand it clearly. Okay. In a certain factory, there are two independent processes of manufacturing a same item. Okay, the same item is manufactured in two different processes. Okay, fine. The average weight in a sample of 250 items produced by one process, how much it is? The average weight in a sample of 250 items produced from one process is found to be 120 ounces with a standard deviation of 12 ounce units. Okay, so let me draw. So the same item is manufactured in two different processes. Let me call it as process 1. Process 2. Right? Okay. In the first process, what is the sample size? 250 items. Okay. Found to the mean, the average weight. So that is x1 bar is given to be 120 units with a standard deviation. So sample standard deviation, smallest one is given to be 12. Right. Now, when it comes to the second process, a sample of 400 items is taken, for which the average is given to be 125 x2 and the standard deviation is given to be 14 units. So this is S2, right? Now obtain the SE. SE stands for standard error. Standard error of the difference between the two sample means. That is one question. And is this difference significant? Means whether the difference between the sample means is significant or not. Okay. And finally, we need to obtain some confidence limits for the difference in the average weights of the items produced by two processes. Read carefully. Difference between the average weights of items produced by two different processes. If you observe the data, in this data, what is mu1 not given and what is mu2 not given? Mu1 is not given and mu2 is also not given. Okay, mu1 is not given and mu2 is also not given. Okay, and not only that one, in fact, the sigma 1 is not given and sigma 2 is also not given. Sigma 1 is not given and sigma 2 is also not given. Okay, now the very first thing, we need to obtain the standard error of difference between the two sample means. That is the very first thing. Standard error of difference between two sample means, that is given to be S of x1 bar minus x2 bar. If you remember, it was mentioned already, sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2. Right? But to evaluate this one, sigma 1 and sigma 2 are not given. What is sigma 1 and sigma 2? Standard deviations of the population 1 and population 2. But it is not given to us. Then For large samples, what we can do, we can approximate the standard deviations of the population with the standard deviations of the samples. This is true for large samples. Thus, sigma 1 square, that is now S1 square upon N1 plus S2 square upon N2, right? So that is given to be square root of S1 square 144 upon N1. N1 is, what is the size of the first sample? 250. Yeah, okay. 250 plus S2 square 14 square 256 upon, not 256, I think 196, right? 196 upon second sample size is 400, right? Yeah. So obtain, calculate this value and tell me how much it is. This is 144 divided by 250 plus 196 0.576 divided by 400. It is 1.066. I got some other answer. Yeah, right. That is 1.0324. So 1.0324. Okay. So the first question is answered. We have obtained what is the standard error of the difference between the two sample means. This is this one. Now, the second question is whether the difference between the tests, whether this difference is significant. That is, whether the difference between the sample means is significant or not. So again, for this question, we need something called testing the hypothesis is required here. So x1 is equal to x2 and x1 is not equal to x2, and the test statistic, as you already know, that is x1 bar minus x2 bar upon the square root of what is the standard error? Standard error is basically sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2. By central limit theorem, it follows the standard normal distribution. But the standard error is approximated with this, with the sample variance, sample standard deviations, and hence x1 bar minus x2 bar. What is x1 bar? X1 bar is 120 and 125. So 120 minus 125 upon 1.0324. 1.0324. This is the standard error. That is what we have obtained right here. So that is equal to how much it is? Minus 5 by. So 5 divided by 1.0324. It is given to be 4.84 something. I got it. I got the something around 4.84. Right. So that is 4.84 approximately, whatever it is. Now, as you can see it, for when the stress when the calculated value is more than 3, then we no need to worry about what is the level of significance actually. Since it is bigger than 3, it is straight away it is rejected actually. Rejected means that is rejected. H0 is rejected. H0 is rejected means it is to say that yes, there is a very significant difference between the sample means, and hence, okay, that is what we have to answer, right? Is this difference significant? Yes. It is significant. It is very much significant. Now, there is one more thing we need to find the confidence interval. Obtain the 99% confidence limits for the difference in the average weights of items produced by the two process respectively. That is what we need to find out. We need to find out mu1 difference mu2 belongs to what? This is what we need to evaluate. 99%. What is the how to evaluate? It is the population, the difference between the population means belongs to the difference between the sample means plus or minus the critical value times the standard error of the difference between the sample means. Therefore, mu1 minus mu2 belongs to what is the difference between the sample means? It is x1 bar minus x2 bar, so it is minus 5 plus or minus. Now Z alpha. Now here, what is Z alpha? At what level of confidence? 99% level of confidence we need to find out. Okay, 99% means how much? I think it is 2.58. Z alpha is 2.58. We are also doing it right again and again. So 2.58 times, what is the standard error? Standard error is 1.0324. Okay, so it is 1.0324. Okay, we evaluate it with +1, you will get the upper bound. With minus, you will get the lower bound. Okay, so that is, we are not saying where the mu1 is belongs to or where the mu2 is belongs to. We are saying only that the difference between the means, between the population means belongs to, should lies between these two limits with 99% confidence. Okay, that is about this question. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we will proceed to the next exercise. Okay, so the next one, please read the question again for 1 or 2 minutes carefully. Yes. So a survey is proposed to be conducted to know the annual earnings of the whole students of an institution. Okay, fine. How large should the sample be taken in order to estimate the mean monthly earnings, mean of the monthly earnings of the old students within plus and minus? So a gap is given within the plus and minus of 15,000. Okay, at 95% confidence level. Okay, so what we need to evaluate? Any idea? What we need to evaluate? First thing, the standard deviation of the annual earnings of the entire population to be is known to be 30,000. So that is the standard deviation of the entire population is given. Sigma is equal to 30,000 rupees. It is already given. Okay, right. Now, okay, 95% confidence level is there. That is also fine. What it is asked? We need to find basically we need to find the sample size. Sample size is required is equal to n. This is what? How much sample size? How many? What should be the sample size so that required thing will happen? What's the required thing? How large should the sample be taken in order to estimate the monthly earnings within plus and minus of 15,000 rupees. Within plus and minus of 15,000 rupees means let X bar be the sample mean and mu be the population mean. Okay. Now what it is asked, the probability of the difference between the plus or minus is less than 15,000. How much it is expected to be? It is expected to be 95%, and hence that is 0.95. If you understood this formation, that's all. The remaining problem is nothing. The only thing is you need to understand this formulation, mathematical formulation. Is it clear to everyone how we got this one? Read again carefully, and if you still have doubts, you ask me. How large should be the sample be taken in order to estimate the mean monthly earnings within plus and minus rupees of 15,000 rupees? Okay. So this is what we need to evaluate basically. But what we know, the test statistic, that is the difference between the sample mean and the population mean, follows the standard normal distribution, whereas out of which what we know sigma is already given to us, n we should have to evaluate depending on this condition, right? So now you look at this one. So based on this one, what will be the yeah. So the probability. Let me make some gap here. So with this available data, we need to evaluate this one. So the probability of the difference between the X bar minus mu upon sigma upon root n is less than or equal to 15,000 upon sigma upon root n. That is equal to 0.95. Right? Am I right? And what is this one? And what is this one? Or it can also be answered in another way. Did this one? Okay. So basically, what we basically suppose the relation between these two is what we know, the probability of mod z less than or equal to z alpha is equal to 0.95. Whereas z alpha is the critical value, and for 95% we already know it is 1.96. So in fact, we can directly write what it is actually. It is 1.96, right? So this implies the probability of what is z bar? Z bar is given to be here modulus of x bar minus mu upon sigma upon root n is less than or equal to 1.96, that is equal to 0.95. 0.95. Now from this one, what we can get, the probability of modulus of x bar minus mu is less than or equal to 1.96 times Sigma, it is already given to us, right? How much sigma? The standard deviation of the population, 30,000. So the 30,000 upon root n is equal to 0.95. Okay. Now you compare this statement and this statement. Maybe you call it as 1, you call it as 1, and you call it as 2. So from these two, what we must have? We must have 1.96 times 30,000 upon root n is equal to 15,000. Right? Okay. Now from this one, you see it, how much the values will be here 2 times, and so therefore root n is equal to 2 times 1.96. So 2 times 1.96 means how much it will be? 3.92. 3.92. Root n should be equal to 3.92. Root n should be equal to 3.92. So from this one, n square is equal to 3.92. Sorry, square on the both the sides, 3.92 square. So that will be roughly approximately 15, right? .15 something, maybe some 3.3 or 3.66, some whatever it is. Okay, so n is equal to 15.36, but n is a number, right? So we must take n to be. We must take, therefore n should be minimum 16. N should be minimum 16. Okay. Yeah. So now, if you have any doubts in this problem, you can ask. Otherwise, we will go for the another one, the last one. Nirbhay, yeah.
Sir, why we did not took equal that probability is less than 15,000?
This one, huh?
No, sir. At the top, you wrote only less than 15,000. Yeah, here.
It is given. You read this one. How large the sample should be taken in order to estimate the mean monthly earnings within plus and minus. Within plus and minus.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Since within modulus is there, sorry, since within is there, less than is there, plus and minus is there, so modulus is come. So now the last exercise for today's section. Random, you please read the question for 1 or 2 minutes, so we'll proceed later. A random samples drawn from 2 countries gave the following data relating to the heights of adults. Okay, 2 countries A and B. From one country, from the country a sample of 1,000 people, and from the country B, a sample of 1,200 people. Measurements have been taken. So it is observed that the mean height from the country A is 67.42, whereas from the country B is 67.25. And the standard deviations are also given 2.58, 2.5. There are 2 questions are there. Is the difference between the means is significant? Is the difference between the standard deviation is significant? Okay. Though there are 2 questions, I'm not focusing on the whether is the difference between the what is called is the difference between the what is it is between the means is significant or not. Related to the means we have already done. Okay, so you can do it again. So that is not an issue. Why? Because everything is given. Everything is given here. For example, here n1 is given, n2 is given, and the mean height. So that is x1 bar is given, and x2 bar is also given, and then small s1 is given, and small s2 is also given. Now, what is not given here? The population mean mu1 is not given. The population mean mu1 is not given. Mu1 and mu2 are not given. Okay, and sigma 1 and sigma 2 are also not given. Not given in the sense not known. Okay, but for the large samples, what we can do, the standard deviations of the populations can be approximated with the sample standard deviations. That is, you need to consider here sigma 1 is approximately equal to S1 and sigma 2 is approximately equal to S2. That is, okay, let us finish this one. So H0 is x1 bar is same as x2 bar. H1 is x1 bar. There is a significant difference between the sample means. The test statistic is the difference between the sample means upon the standard error of the difference between the sample means, that is sigma 1 square upon n1 plus sigma 2 square upon n2. By central limit theorem, this follows the normal distribution, standard normal distribution. Now, out of in this one, what we know what is x1 bar, that is something called 67.42 and 67.25. Okay, 67.42 minus 67.25. Okay, both are known. Upon now sigma 1 square is not known, so but we have approximated with the S1, so that is 2.58 square upon 1000 plus 2.5 square upon 1200. You evaluate the value and check with the Z alpha. What at 5% level of mean? 5% means Z alpha. Alpha is 0.05. So it is 1.96. It is 1.96. So based on the condition, after comparison, you give the conclusions depending on whether you are going to say H1 is accept or H1 which one is going out of H0 and H1, which one you are going to accept it. Okay. So depending on that one, depending on the accept or rejection, you have to conclude us. What is the conclusion? There is no difference between the sample means, or there is a significant difference between the sample means at 5% level of significance. Okay. So the second one is the difference between the standard deviation is significant or not? Difference between the standard deviation. So far we have not done. Okay. Difference between the standard deviations means difference between the standard deviation. So what is H0? H0 said the difference between the sample standard deviations, that is S1 is S2 and S1 is not equal to S2. That is, H0 assumes there is no significant difference between the sample standard deviations. H1 assumes yes, there is a significant difference between the sample standard deviations. Now, what is the test statistic? S1 minus S2 upon the square root of sigma 1 square upon n1 plus 2n1 plus sigma 2 square upon 2n2. By central limit theorem for large samples, it follows the normal distribution, standard normal distribution. But again, here also the same question comes. We do not know. The sigma 1 and sigma 2 are unknown, and hence both of them will be approximated with the sample standard deviations itself. So altogether, so it is something like 2.58 minus 2.5, the sample standard deviations upon the square root of S1 square. So that is 2.58 square upon 2 times N1. So that is 1000 plus sigma 2 square. So that is 2.5 whole square upon 2 times N2. So that is 1200. Again, you calculate this value. Okay. And now here also, what is Z alpha? That is Z 0.05. That is equal to 1.96. Okay. Now, based on the condition, based on the after comparing the calculated value and the critical value, you take the decision So depending on that one, you can you give your conclusions also. Okay. Yeah. That's all. For from here, the same problem can be asked. Can you give the confidence limits for difference between the population standard deviations? Of course, you can give it. Okay. What will be the population sigma 1 minus sigma 2 will be belongs to S1 minus S2 plus or minus Z alpha. That depends on the level of 99, whatever confidence level you want, and the standard error of S1 minus S2. This is the normal structure for any confidence interval for limits. This is the normal structure. What it is asked? It is the population, it is for the sample, critical value, and it is the standard error of the difference. That is what we need to do. This is what we have to follow. Okay. Similarly, for the difference between the mu1 and mu2, population means also you can give. So that is x1 bar minus x2 bar plus or minus z alpha times standard error of the x1 bar minus x2. Okay. So that's all on the large sample theory. If you have any doubts, you are welcome. Otherwise, we'll close the section. So today we have successfully completed the large sample theory. From tomorrow, we are going to see the small sample theory, where in the small sample theory, that there is a little variation will be there. Means in the approximations, we have to follow a different approximations. So yeah, that's all. If you have any doubts, you are welcome. Thank you.